welcome to my review for this week's episode of the 1,000-Year Blood War anime. Man, what episode this was. We finally got to see Issei's Zanpakuto. I was about to say Shikai, but given how we know how her Zanpakuto works and like the and everything about it and like his backstory, I don't think, because originally I thought this was, oh, this is her Shikai form of her Zanpakuto, before I even knew that she actually doesn't have a Zanpakuto and that that Shunsui has been holding on to it. So yeah, I don't think it's fair to call this her Shikai. It's just like her Zanpakuto. I guess it would be a more proper term than just calling it like her Shikai, which probably means she can't achieve Bankai with this thing, or maybe she can. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, we saw what her Zanpakuto is, and that whole scene was awesome, man. And also, like, for any of my fellow Shunsui, you know, Issei shippers, man, we were eating good this episode, I must say. We were eating good. Now, one other thing I want to put on the topic before we jump right into the actual episode is actually we found out seemingly what the episode count for this, for Core 3 is going to be. Where it seems that we are going to be getting 14 episodes instead of the usual 13. Because I assume this will be the last week where we're getting, you know, the full one episode, and the next week we'll get the hour-long special, 2 episodes like we did for the previous 2 cores, and they'll probably announce it like Jump Festa that, like, you know, we're getting an hour-long special for the final 2 episodes, like we did for Core 1, for Core 2. Well, Core 1 is when they actually announced it at Jump Festa that we were getting the 1 hour special. But interestingly, from a press release that Disney put out for Disney Plus, it mentioned that next week we're once again going to be that seems like it's going to be 14 episodes, because next week will be a single episode, and then for December 28th, it mentioned that will be the final episode of the Blood War. So more than likely this will be 14 episodes, and next week will be a normal episode, but then the following week is when we'll get the hour-long special for 2 episodes. So looks like we're going to be getting 14 instead of 30 episodes for Core 3, which, hey, nice. More episodes. But, yeah, man. Anyway, guys, let's just jump right into the actual episode. So we start the episode off with a flashback to Shunsui when he saw his brother and his wife were interacting. Which, actually, at first, you guys see, this is my reaction to the episode. At first, I thought the older dude was Shunsui, and then like, oh, this is how he got the hairpin. That was his wife's kimono. His wife's kimono before she, like, died or something. But I was actually wrong. The younger kid that we see is actually Shunsui, and that is his older brother and his brother's wife, who is, of course, who, as we found out in the episode, is, of course, Issei's mother. And Shunsui mentioned that his brother's mellowed out a lot more, and his brother told that if he has the only reason it's because of her kindness that makes him here, that makes him with. We then cut back to the present with Shunsui and his Zanpakuto. Before then, Shunsui gets hit. Gets once again with the Stern Ritter's attacks, like straight through, like a massive beam right through his business. I'm thinking he's about to get added to the death album right now. But as we see, Shunsui is very much still alive. As we get one more flashback to where Issei's mom, who I'm almost certain, which I don't think we ever actually get her name. I could be wrong though. I just wasn't paying attention, but I don't think we actually ever get Issei's mother's name. I could be wrong on that one. And it was maybe mentioned or somewhere else I wasn't paying attention, but I'm pretty sure we never actually get her name. Regardless, so she gets Shunsui to wake up before we then transport back to the present day, where we then see Bado, I believe his name was Bado, will start to like reform, and this time he goes into, I guess, his like final form, where his head used to be now transforms into like this dragon owl hybrid thing that also looked pretty cool, not gonna lie. His voice also changed well. I don't know if they switched seiyus for this transformation, or if he just changed up his voice for this transformation, but either way, he's now switched voices, and he of course goes like, "I told you, you sinners cannot defeat the messenger of God. A mere Bankai cannot defeat me." And then he starts growing arms, and we found that he actually has a new attack called the Light of Judgment. Basically, it's a death beam. This thing destroys anything in its path, but somehow Shunsui and Issei always manage to avoid it and dodge it somehow. They always seem to manage to dodge this attack. But yeah, and as we can see right afterwards, after the effects of it, like destroys a huge chunk of the area that they're currently standing on just from that. As in front of that Shunsui is now hiding behind one of the towers to gain cover. And we get this nice rotating shot when we go to like the back of the tower that Shinsui's behind, which you guys know I've gone on record multiple times how much I've been loving the like spinning rotating shot that Core 3 has been doing a lot of recently. Man, they've all looked amazing. This one is no different. So then Ohana basically tells Shunsui to go to sleep, and then while she's sleeping, she'll take him to a safe location. Now, right after this whole thing, which I also say, Ohana, oh my god, she's so fucking fine, bro. Lord, she is so hot. I mentioned this a lot during the review for the previous episode, but it just bears repeating that she is so fucking fine, bro. Good God Almighty. Anyway, simping aside, when Shinsui goes to sleep and he finally wakes up, when he finally wakes up, it's Issei waking him up, which kind of makes me wonder what, given the timing of all this, does make me wonder what Ohana meant by saying, like, while you're sleeping, I'll take you somewhere safe. And if by take you somewhere safe, she means while he's sleeping, Issei will come in there and save him. Or if maybe she literally meant she was gonna, like, maybe have him, like, absorb him into some shadows to keep him in, like, the pocket portal dimension or wherever they are, which is either on the episode when they're inside the shadows, and just keep him there for as long as possible. Or, you know, so it's either that or she meant that Issei was gonna come. I don't know what if she meant literally she was gonna take him to a safe location while he was sleeping, or if she meant like Issei was gonna come and save the day. I don't know. Regardless, whatever the case may be, she starts telling Shinsui that she wants her Zanpakuto back. Well, first of all, Shinsui straightens up, and then he starts coughing blood. Then Issei tells him that you don't need to say anything. Just hand her her Zanpakuto. And Shinsui's having hesitation. She's like, "There's no time to hesitate. Hurry. Forget the promise you made to my mind. Just give me the sword." So obviously, Shinsui's shocked by it, but then that's when we see Baro right behind her, right behind both of them, and the dude, he goes on about it being noisy. So your student has returned. Your captain tried to get you to safety, but it seems you don't know the preciousness of life. How sinful. Which I was gonna say, shout out to Baro's Seiyu. Like I said, I don't know if they switched Seiyus for Baro's like bird form, like his final form, whatever you want to call the god form. I guess would probably be the right word, considering when you know how Issei's Zanpakuto works. That it's probably that this would be like his god form or whatever. Whatever the case may be, what you call this form. I love the voice they use from Laser. I don't know if they switched Seiyus for this, or if it's the same Seiyu for Baro, just changed up his voice from this one. Either way, man, I think he sounds amazing. So once again, he uses the light adjustment again. Once again, they're meant to dodging it. This time they go inside the shadow. They're now in the shadow dimension or shadow realm or wherever they are. And Shinsui asked him if he knew about holding with her mom. She says yes, and she's asked her like all along. Once again, Issei says yes, and then Shinsui says, "Gotta say, you never cease to amaze me." And then this is when we kind of find out more about how Issei's about her Zanpakuto, Koyo Kutsu, if I pronounced that right. And we see the other part of Shinsui's Zanpakuto, which we saw once again in the filler arc. The Zanpakuto filler arc once again appeared. Same design, everything, man. I would assume same voice actor, but to be fair, this person didn't really speak. I don't even know they actually spoke, if she spoke in the Bankai, in the Zanpakuto arc. I could be wrong though, but either way, she once again appears. Now, at first when I saw this, I straight up thought that the second Zanpakuto that we see with Shinsui's Zanpakuto was actually Issei's the whole time. Like, this entire time, the dual swords was actually, one was his Zanpakuto, the other one was Issei's. He could just somehow use both of them for his Zanpakuto, for his Shikai, and his Bankai. Which kinda is the case, but also not. It's more or less the other one of the Zanpakutos is just using it to store Issei's Zanpakuto within her, because she likes to play hide and seek. And so as we see Baro searching around trying to find him, he changes the face of his changes the shape of his face, from like this owl head to this sphere, like a UFO, the traditional like you die UFO with them being like cylinders. Or circular or whatever. I forgot the exact terminology. Where he's like spinning around trying to find him, and then he realizes that it's of course from the shadow. So then he goes to use his light to get rid of the shadows, and that is when we see Issei pop out of it. Then we get back over with Issei and Shunsui, like I mentioned before. This is when he explains about how we then learn more about Shunsui's, or rather Issei's family, their background, and their whole bloodline. That the family is cursed, and how they traditionally that the Issei family only births women. So they adopt people to marry them into the bloodline to keep the bloodline going. So like, if you want to get technical, every one of the Issei family is an incest birth. And yes, if you want to get technical, Issei and Shunsui are technically cousins. But like, who cares? They have nothing. They have absolutely zero blood relation. So I'm not gonna call you weird if you still ship them. I still kind of ship them. It's like with Kira and Kagami from Gundam Seed. You know, I've heard that was apparently a very popular ship back in the day. And if you guys have watched Gundam Seed, spoiler if you haven't, it's revealed that they're actually like siblings. And so, which I always thought was kind of a bullshit answer. And I'm like, if you ship them, keep shipping them, man. I also kind of liked Kigali and Kira a lot more than like the ones that then her with Atherin or Kira with the chick he ended up going with, man. I remember I was kind of way more into Kigali and Kira's relationship than I was the other two, man. But yeah, I think that's like the only other time where a quote unquote pro ship is like okay, and people won't look at you like you're crazy for doing incest ships. They're like, you know what, it was bullshit then, you're cool. Who cares? They're cousins, they have no blood relation anyway. You're cool, you can ship them. Although I'm sure someone's gonna be like, ew, age gap, even though they're like both spirits and they're both hundreds of years old anyway, so it really doesn't make much of a difference. But yeah, if you still ship them, you're cool in my book, and I don't think anyone should be giving you shit if you do ship Shunsui and Issei, especially with how long Bleach has been running. This is a ship that's been around for years and years and years. But probably not one of the big main ones of Bleach. I'm sure this one has been one of the major what not like on the level of like Ichihime or Ichiruki or you know some of the other like really big ships like Renji and Rukia and whatnot. I imagine this ship has always kind of been popular in the shipping circles of Bleach, and they're probably one of the chiller ones because you know they're not lunatics like the Ichirukis. Anyway, regardless, if you ship them, you're cool. I don't think you're weird if you still ship them even after watching this episode. I certainly do. Still shipping too. But anyway, back to the episode without going off on a tangent. Anyway, Shunsui continues. I mentioned that how there's a curse with the Issei family where the person that they marry always ends up dying. And so Issei's mom, some people laughed this up. Issei's mom was not one of them. So during that time, she married someone outside the family, thereby killing the bloodline, but in the hopes that it would conquer the curse and get rid of it. That was what happened, and Shunsui's brother, like I mentioned before, we found that was her husband, ended up dying shortly after they got married. Anyway, so Issei's mom, which we actually do get to see her wearing the kimono that we always see Shunsui wearing, so it's very obvious that the kimono he's always wearing is actually Issei's mother's kimono, and of course the hairpins are both of hers. One she also gave to his brother as well. Anyway, she gives him she gives Shunsui the family Zanpakuto to hopefully get rid of the curse, so that Issei so that Nanao wouldn't also befall the curse. Anyway, Okoyo then pulls out Issei Zanpakuto from the mask on her face, which actually isn't a mask. It's basically like a portal, basically that pulls out the Zanpakuto. I also gotta say, the music that was playing during this part of the episode, I really liked. I like the song that was playing it, and the sound effects as Okoyo was pulling out the Zanpakuto, I really liked the sound effect. So then we're back to the present where Issei jumps out of Baro and then uses the Zanpakuto to block his attack. Thereby, then the wrapping that's surrounding the Zanpakuto starts to break away, and we can slowly start to see bits of her the form of her Zanpakuto. Now, we also get this other scene, which, like I said, man, for any of us fellow Shunsui Issei shippers, we were eating good this episode. Like I said, I don't, them being cousin man, I feel that shouldn't really be an issue with this, especially with how long Bleach has been running. People have been shipping these guys since day one, so I don't think we need to be looking at them weird if they still keep shipping them, man. Like I said, they're cousins, they have no blood relation anyway. I think you're cool. But anyway, Issei says, in fact, the person I admire would probably just smile and say the curse is ridiculous. That was a really cute moment. I look forward to hearing this with the dub VAs, man. I'm pretty sure both Issei and Shunsui, both their voices are still voicing the character. Neither of them have switched, were recast after the Blood War for the Blood War. So this will be a great scene to see between them. Anyway, we then get this really nice close-up on Shunsui on Issei's leg as she lands back on one of the rooftops. The animation there looked really fucking good. Shunsui once again continues on with explaining more about the Issei family and how the Zanpakuto tree work. First of all, I was gonna say the key animation on Issei right before they cut over to the full acrobat looks amazing. She looks super badass here. I love this shot of Issei. Anyway, he continues on explaining that the Issei family is a family of priests. They administer rituals and do not possess their own Zanpakuto. The head of the family passed down a single Zanpakuto through the generations. It's a sword without a blade used for rituals. The sword cannot be used to cut people down. It's said it's said to have the power to confront a god by withstanding its power and dispersing it in all directions. Shinken Hakkyoken, if I pronounce that right, probably mispronouncing it a little bit. And I was gonna say the effects were like the lens flare, the reflecting of Baro's power in her Zanpakuto looks amazing. The effects for this entire episode, man, looked amazing, I have to say. But yeah, we finally get the money shot that's also her BBS, that's supposed to use for a BBS render, which I mentioned before. I do have it, though I don't know if I actually ever played with her. I'm pretty sure I actually never got around to using her unit. I might have used it once or twice beforehand, but yeah. And of course, Baro was asking, what is this sword like? To him, it's this blinding light, you can't see anything. And then he says, oh, that's good, and she could then explain that there's a sword that can confront gods and reflect their own power. If it appears shiny to your eyes, it means it's reflecting the light of God that you are admitting. And Baro's like, I know what you're called, but I don't mind being called a god. Before she charged toward, then we get back to another flashback where we actually get to see, like I said, we see Issei's mom wearing her kimono and actually handing Shunsui the sword, the Zanpakuto of the Issei family. Well, we can actually see that Issei is listening into this whole conversation. And then we also get to see Shunsui went at the Soul Reaper Academy come out there wearing her Zanpakuto as well as both hairpins. So there you go. That's also the origin of the hairpin. There's just moms as well. So finally, I'm sure I'm not the only one, especially after last week, I was always kind of wondering where the kimono came from. Like it does look stylish on him, man. But what's Ohana mentioned that was another woman. That did make me curious. I'm like, where he actually got this from in the origins. But anyway, Issei Kijo mentioned that she saw a man wearing a conspicuous woman's kimono. She only thought it would look similar to her mom, but didn't really think it was actually, her mom's kimono until she saw the hairpins, and that's when she put two and two together, that this was the man that she saw that her mom gave the family Zanpakuto. Anyway, we then kind of see the 13 guard squads of exception results. Someone, if you actually paid actually straight up says that they got a part of squad 5 and that Aizen is hot, which I thought was pretty funny. And then we see that Issei got sent to squad 8. So then we find out that Issei, after her mom died, she was sent over to an elderly couple that claimed to be related to the Issei family. They raised her like she was one of their own, and they were excited that she got selected to be part of the 13 guard squads. So as we continue onward, she says that she was given an asuchi, if I'm pronouncing that right. But she couldn't make her own, but she was very talented in Hado, so she was able to take the enlistment exam early. And she thought that she would make it in with the Kido Corps and requested to be signed there, but for some reason she ended up being assigned to Squad 8, which it's never mentioned in this episode. This might get mentioned later on. I have a sneaking suspicion that Shunsui pulled some strings to make sure that Issei got into Squad 8, got into his squad. I could be wrong, but given the fact that she requested somewhere else and still got into Shunsui's squad, makes me think that Shunsui had something to do with her getting accepted to Squad 8. I could be wrong though, but I have a feeling that that was his doing. Once we saw her again, when she was actually part of Squad 8, he's wearing a different kimono. Which, if you pay attention, it looks like he's still wearing her mom's kimono, but then another kimono on top of it, I think, like 2 kimonos. I could be wrong though, whether this could just be the same one that just had a different color, that had a different collar on it or whatever. But it looks like he was just wearing another kimono on top of that one. But he wasn't wearing the hairpins either. So then she charges towards, we get back to the present where she's charging towards Baro. She manages to cut him, although she mentioned that the attack was blocked, which I guess it kind of was because his arm was in the way. She does manage to slice right through his arm, and you see this gold stuff coming out of his arm, man. It looks really, really good, man. The effects work here, once again, looked fantastic. It's like gold dust. It looked really fucking cool. So then he starts charging up his death beam again. Literally, he literally does it with one finger, like he's fucking Frieza, man. This felt very much something out like Dragon Ball. And he says that the messenger of God never lets his guard down twice. We got back to another flashback. This is when Shunsui found out that Issei's mom was executed due to her misplacing a sacred treasure, which is obviously this family's Zanpakuto. And Jerusha mentions this to her that she was executed yesterday, and that he questioned whether or not he should have told her, but he was like, don't worry about it, thanks, man. And then we get to see when Shunsui's brother actually handed him his hairpin that Issei's mom gave his brother, which we saw earlier on the beginning of the episode. As Shunsui says, everyone entrusts me with their precious possessions, and then dies. Don't they know I hate shouldering responsibilities? Now I can't bear to be left behind with that sword ever again. Take the burden off my shoulders now. And this is when he appears from the shadow behind her, and with one of his hands grabs onto her Zanpakuto and says, "Let's go now." This is when we get to this is when we finally get to the commercial cards, which I gotta say, man, the commercial cards this week, oh my god, did they look so good. You get one with Shunsui, man, looks incredible, and another one with Issei and Nanao. I might actually start calling her Nanao now, but anyway, with hers as well, man, they both look absolutely incredible, man. The commercial cards this week, I don't know who they got doing the commercial cards art. I don't know if it's Masashi Kudo himself, or they got some other animator doing this. Either way, this one particular, man, this week, these looked incredible, man. I want these as fucking posters, not gonna lie. Once we get back from the commercial break, we then see the lead up to when Shinzui helps out, and now we see that she got cut up, that her leg got cut up, and this is when she starts to lose her nerve. She mentions about how much it hurts, how much her legs hurt. She didn't think getting cut in the leg would hurt so much. So she starts having breathing as Baro is charging up that big ass attack. And then she realizes her legs won't move, and that's when Shinzui goes over there to help her. We then get another beautiful rotating shot as we see the attack growing more and more. Now it's straight looking like Saturn. It looked amazing. Especially the effects for this episode, man. Once again, the 3D panic shots, man. Oh my god, they look so fucking good. The use of 3D has been so well done in Core 3, man. Seriously. And I also love, and I haven't mentioned this earlier, but I love whenever we do a first person shot of Baro in his owl form or his god form, where he's when he blinks his eyes, it zooms in more and more like a scope. I thought that was a really nice touch, man. I thought that was really cool. This is when, of course, he knows, there, Shunsui, there, you finally come out of hiding. And Shunsui tells her, don't worry, I have your back. And then we get, we get some more narration from Nanao, mentioning that as though the captain's kindness is flowing into me. I came back intending to support the captain, but it turns out I'm the one being supported. And the captain always supported me. We get a flashback to that epic scene from the Soul Society where Genryu Sayoto drops the hardest line in anime. Be gone from here. I have neither the time nor the patience to teach a mere infant like you how to breathe. That line goes so hard, man, and Neil's delivery of that, man, God almighty. Such a hard line, man. Seriously, that is easily a top 10 moments of Bleach, man. That shit goes so fucking hard. I love that line. Anyway, and then we see in the flashback, we also get to see Shunsui coming holding Nanao and everything, man. Great little moment, great moment. But anyway, he finally unleashes his horn, which creates this massive hole into the battle arena, man. It's insane how big this shit started to look like the battle arena of the Tournament of Power after the attack, man. It was fucking nuts. Which by the way, as you guys may have known, we finally got the dub announcement for when it's gonna drop on Crunchyroll. It's gonna be dropping up in January, so that's when you guys will see me start reviewing Dragon Ball Daima. Really, right after I finish up with Core 3 of Bleach, I'll be jumping right back into Dragon Ball. Funny how things work out like that. Anyway, so then we see the attack, but of course, since we know that it now mentioned that her Zanpakuto can reflect God's attacks, we didn't see half of his body get chopped off, man. We see a perfectly triangular area where this perfectly triangular area right where Nanao and Shunsui were standing in to reflect and block the attack. As we see Baro crumbling away and die, which he has been added to the Death album. He mentions, oh yeah, you did say this could reflect God's attacks. So then now it starts almost slips and loses her footing, but Shunsui catches her, says she did a good job, and she's like, all right, come on, let's meet up with everyone else. And then he starts to falls down, and be like, you know what? Let's take a quick break first. And that's when we get the titles card and the episode ends. Seriously, man, this was easily one of my favorite episodes of Core 3, man. It was just an amazing episode in general, man. The animation was fantastic, man. The effects were fantastic. The music cues were this episode. Seriously, man. Sakasu absolutely cooked with the soundtrack for this episode, man. Just a phenomenal episode, man. This episode easily was easily rising up the stocks of Shunsui and Nanao shippers. 10 tenfold, man. This has easily made this my third favorite ship in Bleach. Seriously, man. If you guys know any Shunsweet and Now shippers on fan arts on Twitter, leave their ass in the comment section below, man. Seriously, man. I tried looking for it myself during the episode. I literally couldn't find Jackson. I tried using the Japanese characters for them, which got me more results, but still no fan art of them. So, like I said, guys, if you guys know any Shunsweet and Now shippers on Twitter, leave their ass in the comment below because I want to start following them now. Seriously, like I said, this raised the stocks of that ship tenfold, man, and it's easily become my third favorite ship in Bleach now. Funny that my third favorite ship Bleach is technically an incest ship, but hey, here we are. Anyway, man, but yeah, man, this was a phenomenal episode, man. Like I said, easily one of my favorites of Core 3. And yeah, next week, that's when we're going to finally see Bosby, and we're going to see his fight with Hushwalt, which I'm really excited to see where that goes, man, how that's gonna go. And yeah, man. Anyway, guys, that's when this episode over. I give this episode a 10 out of fucking 10, ladies and gentlemen. As always, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me so you feel like it. Links to subscribe below, and as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.